me share my screen here and fire an instance of Cubase. When you open for the first time Cubase, there's always the Steinberg hub, and on the left side there's a panel here indicating the news, what's happening within the Cubase community. And on the right side, this panel here where you see recent recordings and things like that. It might be different depending your version of Cubase, but it's basically the same. We're going to click on the More tab here at the right, and we're just going to click on Create Empty. There you go, you're inside Cubase, you're inside your sequencer. This is where action is happening. So let me show you first up there. Those are the transport buttons. You have your stop here, your play, and also right here is the record button. Right, so these transports are up there, but also down here you have the same, right? You have record, stop, and play here. As every program, there's what we call key commands, right? Shortcuts on the keyboard that will help you to save a huge amount of time, right? Because as when, for example, you're writing a document on a computer, you've been learning maybe Control C, Control V, all these things, Control P to print. So this is happening in any software. And in Cubase, well, you can use them and it's going to save you a huge amount of time. So let's start the walkthrough here. Let's say that you want to play a song and you want to start composing. First thing is maybe you're going to set the tempo. So tempo is here down below 120. You can just click here and change, and let's say I want something at 1010 beat per minute. So you can change here the tempo here. There's no problem. You can go up to too fast for me today, but let's use 1010. And right, what you see here right at the side is the time signature. Let's say, but most of the music today is written in 4/4. But let's say that you want to play a waltz, or you want to record a waltz, or whatever, a song in an odd signature. This is where you will change the whole time signature for your project. So you can change and put 4/4, 3/4, whatever. All right, so now let's start. What you see here up is the rule, like this is the bars, right? The bars are all there, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's say we want to write 4 bars of music. You can select 4 bars here. This is your meter. And let's add a MIDI instrument. So what I come here on the left panel here, and I just click right on my mouse, and I'm just gonna select this add instrument track. And then you'll be able to choose when you go deeper into libraries and everything. We'll talk about it in the next video, but for now, let's start with an instrument. So you come here, you select HALion Sonic SE, and you add track. So here we are with this instance of HALion Sonic. As you see, it's all categorized. For example, here you have your categories, accordion, bass, brass. You have a lot of instruments. Those are free instruments. They come with Cubase. We call them stock plugins, stock instruments. And well, you can explore this as a homework, but it's very interesting. Let's start with the piano. I just want to show you. I'll be creating a song or a short song. Just gonna click on piano, and I go on the subcategory, and I just want to have an acoustic piano here. So now the instrument is loaded, and if I play on my keyboard here, or as you can do the same thing at home, you have the piano sound here, right? And it's a nice sound. It's a stock plugin, so we won't complain about this. It's a beautiful sound. So now, let's say that you're having problems and you play and you hear nothing, and you're like, man, what's happening? Well, two things. The first thing, you're gonna go here in Studio, and you're gonna go here in Studio Setup, and you're gonna click here on Audio System, right? So Studio System, Audio System here, and you want to make sure that you selected the right sound card. If you have a built-in sound card, make sure to know what it is. Every computer has a different sound card. I'm using a Focusrite as my external sound card, so I just want to make sure that this one is selected because it's the one I'll be using. All right. If you have problems with MIDI, let's say that you play the piano but nothing is happening, you're gonna come here on MIDI port setup, and you see there's a list of devices connected to the computer right now. And for example, I'm using a key station, M-Audio key station, as a keyboard, as my MIDI keyboard, and I've just come here and make sure that it's active, right? If it's not active, you will not be able to record. There will be no communication between your computer and Cubase and your keyboard. So that's an important thing. If nothing is happening, you should check this and also the MIDI setup. All right. Also another thing, that's right. In Studio, you click again on Studio here and click on Audio Connections. And you have two tabs. You have Input and Output. And make sure that the audio device here is your Focusrite or your internal built-in sound card, and that your device port is output 1 or output 2. It depends, but make sure that you have a stereo out if you are using headphones or if you're using some speakers. So those are three things, right? You should check. If you're playing and you're like, man, there's nothing happening, check those three things. All right, so let's say we want to write something, and you can change the name of a track here just by clicking on, double click here, and let's call it piano. Okay, so you can, this tab here, the left panel here, this is where you can add as many instruments as you want. I think with LE, Cubase, LE, I think you can go up to 64 instruments. Other versions, like for example Artist or Pro, there's no limitations. But if you have a song with about 20 instruments, it's already a big song. It's already a great composition. So to start with, it's a good program. So now let's say I want to write something and I will record it. So I'm gonna come here close to the where we started with the tempo, and I'm gonna click here on Activate Count-in. And also I will activate the metronome. So I just want those two to be white. It means activated here. And when you activate this, the count-in, it will count 4 bars, or you can select more bars. Of course, you can change these settings, but it will count 4 bars before actually recording. And the metronome, well, we want to be on time. You'll see I'm a bad piano player, so I'll be making mistakes. But it's this is for fun, and this is to show you how MIDI can help you, even though you're like, I'm not a piano player. It's no worries. MIDI is there to help you. All right, so now I have to choose what I'll be doing, right? Maybe I will use a chord progression here. C, F, and G. Something very, 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 very original. Thank you, Pierre. Very original. But anyway, this is not the purpose, right? I just want to show you how it works. So now let's hit record. Record, as I said, there's a hotkey, there's a key command for that. And it's when you press on your keyboard here, on your keyboard, you can click on the star, right? Or in your sequencer, you can go and click here on the transport bar down there or up there. You can hit record. Both are okay. If you want to save a lot of time, you're just going to use the key command. I know at first it's hard because you'll have to learn a lot, and we'll go through a lot of key command when we start going deeper into MIDI sequencing, but it's very important to know them. All right, so let's start the recording here. All right, so I went, I did something here, I went too far. But let's say that this is my MIDI information that has been recorded, and you want to edit it, okay? You want to correct things. Let's say I did a wrong note, or the timing is bad. You just double click on this region here, and it opens up what we call the piano roll. Piano roll is where you can edit notes, you can edit the lengths of the notes, their value. It gives you a lot of freedom. So let's say this is my first playing. Yeah, definitely it's not on time. It's not on time. But what I can do, I'll be using what we call Quantize. If you go up there here, there's a Q, right? And Q stands for Quantize. Quantize is the computer helps you to put things right on the beat. Sometimes we do it, other times we try to keep it as we played it. It depends what kind of music you want to play, and it depends what kind of feel you want to give to a song. But Quantize is your friend here. You can select here 1/8, or you can select 1/60th. It will change. You see the bars are changing. It will quantize to 1/8 or 1/60th or 1/4 depending of your track. For example, I see here 1/4 could be good. So I just select this, the whole thing I played. So I just select and just click on Quantize, and it places everything right on the beat. So very good. So now we have this written here. But let's say you're like, Pierre, I don't know how to play piano. It's I'm learning, and it's good. No worries. But you want to write something. You want to write a melody. You want to write some chords. You can do this. I'm not going to delete this. I just want to show you. I'm just going to expand this window here, and just want to show you what you can do. Up there, here, there's a series of tools, right? Up there in Cubase. You can select the Draw. And look, it's all written also to help you. Draw, they say it's number 8. So maybe you can click on your keyboard and it's changed to Draw. If you click on this one here, it's Object Selection, or you just click on 1. So 1, Object Selection, 8 is the Draw tool. So let's say you're like, I want to write a C chord. So you can draw everything you want. A C chord is created with a combination of 3 sounds, which is C, E, and G. So it sounds like this. You just created a C chord. Let's say that you want to add a F chord. So you just go on the next bar. You want this to last 4 beats. Now we change to a F chord, so you're just gonna draw a F chord. Sorry. A, and it ends with a C. All right, like this. And you're like, okay, I like this chord progression, very basic, but it's to start with. You can just select this. Copy. I use Control C, Control V to copy and paste, right? Control C to copy, and to paste, I just gonna use Control V here. Boom, right? Everything is there, copied. Now you have 4 bars of chords. All right, so this is how to create chords, how to draw. Let's say that you say, I want to write a melody over that, and you don't want to play it on the keyboard. But though playing on the keyboard will help you to go faster, and I feel ideas are coming better when I'm using the keyboard, but it's up to you. You can do what you feel, what floats your boat, right? And let's say I want to write a melody over those few chords I've created here. So I'm just gonna select, and you can draw, right? You can draw what you want. Let's say I just gonna I have no inspiration today, but I want to see what I can do. Da, 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 da. And you can make long notes like this. Good. And then I'm not inspired with this melody, but my goal is to show you what you can do by drawing. And you can use what I'm doing here. I'm using the arrow here to move notes. So I wrote one note, but I can change the pitch just by using the arrows on your keyboard. So let's do this, A, F again, and maybe I'll go with a C here. Right, I know it's not that interesting as a melody, but it's a start, and it's to show you what you can do. Now I just select this, and I want to copy this and paste it over it, and then yeah. So now you have your 4 bars of music. And maybe you're like, oh, this is not on time. Yes, you're right. So you can just select this and just click on the note, whatever note, or all the notes, and just click and just push the Q key on your keyboard to put everything on the beat, right? I could select everything and just do it once, but just to show you how it works. So now this is how this short piece sounds. Right, so this is how you can draw MIDI information in Cubase. If you want to exit this window, you just have to click escape. No, it's not escape. It's you have those small up, top, down, and you're right here. You double click here, and when you want to quit this, you're just gonna open in lower zone, and it closes, right? So now let's say, okay, I'm happy with this short. It sounds like a song for a baby's nursery song. Anyway, now let's say I want to add some drums on that. Okay, I want to build a song. So I just want to show you quickly. Of course, it's a basic overview. We'll come and talk about this in other classes, but I'm gonna add another track. So I just click here on the left panel here, add instrument track, another instance of HALion, because in HALion you have drums, and you open HALion, it's here, and you try to find in your category here, can we go with drums? Do we have drums here? Drums and percussions. All right, so you click here and you can choose. I'll choose. I don't know. I barely use this, but I barely use this library, but it's a good library to start with. Let's say I just want to have a stereo kit here. Just I click here, so this is selected. So now on your keyboard, your MIDI keyboard can be used as a drum kit, right? So let's see what I can do with this. I'm just gonna record some drums. Wow. Very inspired. But it's just for the sake of showing you how it works. I'm gonna double click on this new recording here that I just finished, and I'm like, oh, it's not on time. What should I do? Yes, you know, I just select everything here and just click on Q to quantize everything. And now we can listen to this drum part. Okay, good. So there's this way you can play the drums, or you can draw them. Remember, you can click here, number 8, and you can go. There's a lot of things, but you can choose whatever you want. And I personally have been writing drums for years, and I love to draw them like this using. I don't play them, I just draw them. But it's up to you. You can choose whatever you want. So let's start with it. I just added a crash cymbal here. And you can choose, like, there's a lot of instruments. Oh, this is sort of a Chinese. And yeah, you can choose and maybe boom boom. I'll see how it sounds. I have no idea what I'm doing. Right, and I could add another cymbal here. Okay, and maybe I could add a hi-hat. Hi-hat is A1 here. And yeah. Let's see how it sounds. I do not believe in the beautifulness of this. Okay, it's not on time, of course, because I draw them, but you can just select them and click on Q to put things back in. Normally, drums are really right on the grid, right on the time, because it's the tempo-wise. Other instruments, like for example, when you write strings, sometimes strings don't put it right on time. It would sound too mechanical and not human. But drums, yeah, you can put it right on the beat. So let's listen to this. All right, thank you very much, Pierre. Beautiful. And let's say that now you want to write a bass line. Okay, remember you can select this here, just double click on this track and write what you want. You can, for example, we're gonna rename this drums. And by the way, here on the track, you see there's M, S. S is for solo, M for mute. And whenever you want to see the instrument, edit your instrument, you're gonna click on this small keyboard, like 3 keys keyboard. You click here and it will pop up your virtual instruments, the one you've been using with this track. And you can change it, right? You can go and edit, change instruments, whatever. So I could add a new instrument. So I click here again, HALion, another instance of HALion, and I'll be choosing a bass, something that acoustic bass. And there's in this library there's two. Let's do the modern jazz upright. Let's see how it sounds. Oh wow, do you like this sound? All right, so let's record this, right, and see what can happen. And what I played, a C and an F chord. So I hit the record button, the start button, and I play. Here you go. Was it nice? Well, tell me. I'm not sure about this, but right, and as you see, again, it's not on time. What should I do? I select here and click on Q to quantize everything, put everything on the beat, right? All right, thank you, Pierre. So this is the first beautiful song I've been writing, but it's just to show you how it works, right? And you can add more instruments, like maybe we would like to write some violins, or we would add some guitar. You can explore this as a homework, right? You can explore the library that comes here with Cubase. There's organ. Let's see how it sounds. Combo jazz organs, cool tone wheel. Let's click here. Ooh, that sounds decent. Let's see if I can add this to this track here. So I just gonna hit and play. Well, I'm not convinced that much about this sound, but anyway, it's just for showing you. Double click, and again, what a good piano player you are, Pierre. Very good, thank you very much. Just select everything and put it back on. Oh, nope. You just select this key because it's not, and you can draw this back to its place like this. Boom. All right, so everything is okay. Let's listen to this. Good. Let's say that you want to add vocals on this. I will not be singing here today, but I just want to show you how it works. If you want to add vocals in your project, you're just going to click here, click right, and you're going to add audio track. The first one here, add audio track. And this pops up in your screen, and you want to make sure that you select the right input, right? Hardware input. It's, if you have an external sound card, it will appear here. Make sure to select the right one, and you can add track. If you're using a built-in sound card, sometimes they don't have a mic input, or unless you invested in some other cards, but usually we use external sound cards to record, to plug XLR microphones, to plug your guitar, to plug whatever instruments. We use an external sound card. So maybe it's a future investment, or if you have one, you can start recording real instruments over those MIDI instruments, right? So this is my track. If you want to hear your microphone, you'll have to click on monitor, right? So this is what I just recorded, and let's see how it sounds. Hey, how you doing? This is a nice song, eh? Yes. Thank you. All right, so this is how you create some basic projects. I hope it didn't last too much time. But what we've seen together today is how to create a project, how to check your sound card and MIDI input. We've seen how to set the tempo of your song. We've seen how to set the time signature, and also how to record, right? Using your keyboard or drawing MIDI information. So that's pretty much it for this getting started with Cubase. Now, the next thing, of course, you're like, I pretty much like this song. You want to export it and share it with family, friends. You're gonna come here. You see the rule here, and you're gonna select the song that you've been writing. Maybe my song starts at bar 9 and ends at bar 14. So I'm gonna select this here, and I'm gonna go here, File, and I'm gonna select here, Export. Audio mix down. So you click here, export. You can name your your song. I'm gonna create and call it crazy song. And here in the path, make sure that you use a path where you'll remember where it is, because Cubase de facto will put things in your project, your song project, but maybe you can mix down those songs in a different path. For example, let me choose here, and I want to put it on my desktop. Okay, boom. So there you go. If I click export here, oh no, you have to choose. By the way, this is something important. If you create a song and you're happy with it and you want to upload it on iTunes, Spotify, whatever, most of them, they ask for a WAV file. So it's here. When you export a song under the file type, you're going to choose WAV. But WAV is very heavy, very heavy. If you're sharing, for example, a song with someone, it might be better to share it with as an MP3. And when you work in the studio and you must export a track for an album or export a track to put it online, you can use WAV. But here today we're going to just choose here MP3, and you can choose the bitrate, right? 320 is the highest, but you can choose other bitrate. Normally I just export everything in 320. Quality is nice. And then you click on export audio, and it is on your desktop. You can click on it and listen to it. So that's pretty much that covers the basic with getting started with Cubase. I hope you enjoy this, and if you have any question, I'm here to help. Thank you very much, and have a good one.